All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is the second of two videos today on the Fed League Flash. This is Tuesday Tidbits, not a regular feature because we don't normally do a video on Tuesday, but anyway. All right, I'm wearing my red shirt because I'm sure I'm going to be targeted by some and seen in an unsavory light, but oh well. But let's cover the nice things first. Okay, so we have a game tonight. Port Huron Prowlers, bless them, man, they're going through the ringer. They are traveling to Biloxi. Well, they're probably, if they're not already there, they're probably pretty close. Taking on the Mississippi Seawolves today and tomorrow. After just going through a 3-game set with the Rockers and then a day off, and they travel to Carolina. So amazing. So Port Huron comes in this game 8, 10, and 3, 25 points. That is fourth in the Continental. Mississippi in third, 29 points at 10, 11, and 1. This could be a real big mover as far as the standings. But yeah, I think Port Huron kind of has their backs against the wall just with the brutal schedule at this point. If they find a way of winning tonight, wow, good on them. Okay, so Mississippi, a couple of notes for this game. Uh, 55 of their 89 total goals scored have come from Yanni Lariakos, Hugo Koch, or Joachim Nilsson. That's 60, almost 62% of their goals. So if Port Huron wants to win tonight, they've got to shut those three guys down. And if they do, they've got a good shot. 109 goals surrendered by Mississippi. That is by far the worst in the league. That's an average of 4.95 goals surrendered per game. For Port Huron, their Achilles heel is the penalty kill. At this point, they're averaging 23.9 penalty minutes per game, and their penalty kill is only 68.5%. So that's a problem. Boy, they really could use Tucker Tynan in the net, but I don't believe that he's eligible to come off the 15-day DL yet. Head to head, these teams have played 4 times. Port Huron has won 3 of them. The scoring head to head is 21 for Port Huron, 17 for Mississippi. So Port Huron has done a good job in shutting down Mississippi, keeping them to just over 4 goals per game. Brandon Picard, he's the leading scorer for the Prowlers in 20 games. He's got 22 points. Yanni Lariakos, of course, number 1 in the league. 21 games played, 49 points. I would expect probably the goaltenders will be Sokolov, who is 4-3-1 with a 3.91 goals against, and Anthony Deloisio, who is 3-1 with a 4.04 goals against. I am going to give Mississippi the edge simply because of the potential for tired legs by the Prowlers and home ice advantage for Mississippi. I'm sure that the Seawolves are going to be fired up for this one. All right, so there's that. Next thing I want to address is the suspensions. Yes, suspensions were announced. Trevor Babin for the Rockers was given 3 games. The write-up by Dave Jackson was filled with errors, and a lot of extra commentary, which was not needed. And I'm saying that as a impartial fan. I'm not just looking at Port Huron and Motor City. Both teams are on an equal for me. But I mean, this is ridiculous. First of all, the slash. This is not a head. Okay, this is where the stick hit. All right. without provocation or for no reason. That was baloney. Quite honestly, Chartrand should have gotten a game as well. But anyway, okay. So Babin's out for this weekend. Also, your Ivan Sergeyev for the Watertown Wolves gets 2 for the cross check to the head of Merkel. Thankfully, Merkel was not hurt, and I think he only got 2 games, mainly because this is his first offense, suspendable offense, and I'm sure that the league took that into account. And then we have Kyle Moore making more improper gestures. Again, yeah, the point was made. It was overstated in the write-up by Jackson. We didn't need to have your personal feelings thrown in there. All right. So anyway, that's the suspensions. Let's see. What do we do? Oh yeah. One thing I did not put on the board here, I want to talk about because there's been some confusion, and I hope this clears it up. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, how come Gravenikov is playing? How come Keplinger is playing? How come Swanson is playing?" Those guys were ruled ineligible for the season on November 30th. Yes, that's correct. However, the league decided to extend an offer to all players who had not signed with their teams and did a failed to report one last chance to sign with the team that holds their rights. That deadline is today. So if players want to play, they've got to sign today, and they have to sign with the team that holds the rights. And so far, those 3 players, Gramenikov, Keplinger, and Swanson, are the only 3 that have taken advantage of that. The problem is the league did not come out and say, hey, we're extending a second chance to these guys to come and play. All they had to do is make a statement saying, we are extending an offer. That would have alleviated so much confusion. But so that's what the story is. Anyone else that shows up today is for a sign that was ruled ineligible on November 30th, they're okay. They're cool. All right. All right. So the Unsportsmanlike podcast, just want to talk about this for a little bit. Of course, this is the official podcast of the FPHL. So they're going to host Dave Jackson, head of security. Today is Tuesday. I believe the episode is being aired or recorded today. It'll be aired Thursday at 7 p.m. All right, on YouTube. They've done 3 episodes so far, and each episode, the viewership has dropped in half. So hopefully this interview with the head of security will help boost their ratings. I have watched all 3 episodes, by the way. So anyway, maybe they'll talk a little bit about what happened this weekend. And hopefully he'll be able to give some more clarity as far as the whole concept of player safety, suspensions, fines, all that kind of stuff. Give some more information out to us fans. So I think that'll be very interesting. I'd recommend you watch it. Now, I personally, I'm just saying this just to be transparent. I do not like Matty B's delivery. I'm not saying I don't like him. I just don't like the way that he kind of delivers things. I love the insight that Tom Callahan gives. Of course, Callahan is play-by-play director for the Columbus River Dragons. And Callahan's been in hockey for a long time. He knows his stuff. He's really, really good. So anyway, we'll see if this interview helps ratings, and we'll see what Jackson has to say. All right. I just want to mention, I want to kind of talk about, well, why is viewership falling? A lot of people commented to me, is like, I'm not too sure about this podcast, like before it started. Are they just going to try and sell a narrative? We're seeing a little bit of that, and I'm going to touch on that in a minute. Okay. But I want to kind of go into transactions because this next one is key. All right. Yes. As you probably saw on the transactions board today, Mario Cavalier was called up. Yes, I said it. Yes, I'm correct. To the Peoria Rivermen. He is getting an opportunity, and from what I am being told by people who are close to the team, this isn't just like a 1 or 2 game call up. This is like a legitimate shot being given to Mario. Obviously, Peoria sees some real good potential in his play. And I think he's earned this opportunity. Mario's been obviously the best goalie in the Fed this year. So I wish him well. And hopefully he's able to stick it out with Peoria the rest of the year. So this leads me to my final thing, and I want to talk a little bit about the relationship between the SP and the Fed. Now, when we began this year, the league, the officials in the league, coaches, GMs, they were all saying the same thing. And this is what is actually true, okay? Is that the whole idea of the FPHL is to help give players an opportunity to advance their careers. For some, it's an opportunity to play professionally, kind of one last gasp, but for others, it's a chance to move up. And yes, you are moving up. There is a definite hierarchy in professional hockey in North America. You've got the NHL. The numbers on a scale of 1 to 10. This is what I personally would rank talent, but I think it's pretty indicative of how people who are scouts, coaches, insiders in hockey would see things. The NHL is a 10. Obviously, best league in the world. The AHL, their chief development league, is a step below. We'll give them an 8. ECHL is another step down the rung. Give them about a 6 because you're probably going to see maybe 1 or 2 players from each team ever have a shot in the NHL. Okay, just being realistic. Most of the players that are at the ECHL level either peak there or at the AHL level, or they play overseas. The SPHL and the ECHL have been getting very close, and if you see the transactions in the SPHL page, there's constant motion between the 2 leagues, just like there's constant motion between the Fed and the SP. Okay, so we have 6, 5, and 4. They're pretty close on the rungs, but there are definitely steps. Okay, the league has made a move to basically poo-poo the idea that the SP is a higher league. I'm sorry, it is. Okay, that's just the way it is. Saying something different doesn't make it so. All right. The Fed's official position now is that both single A leagues are just single A, but with different budget scales. They're on equal footing. I'm sorry, they're not. They're close. The Fed has gotten a lot closer to the SP over the last 2 or 3 years, but there is still a step up. And the problem that I have with the podcast is that the official position has now been, it's not a call-up, it's not on loan, they're just playing in a different league. It's a call-up. It's an opportunity that these players want. The coaches want it, okay? The coaches want to step up to the SP. The officials want to step up to the SP, okay? Everybody recognizes it is a step up, except for the league officials, apparently. And that's a real shame. It's a shame that it's gotten to that, that they've gotten to the point where they're calling what I am saying misinformation. It's not. It's the truth. All right. I don't know why the league has taken this step, but it's a bad move. It just doesn't set well from a PR standpoint. the way you present yourself, it doesn't look good. Okay. The FPHL needs to recognize it is what it is and embrace that, grow, and over time, eventually there will be equal footing. But it hasn't happened yet. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And it is what it is. So you see fans saying the C word, the call up word. They're right. It is. All right. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. A little bit of everything here for Tuesday. Tomorrow we're back on Spotify, so join me there. Thank you so much for your viewership, for tuning in. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below and tell a friend. All right. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the week. We will catch you later.